Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the third video from tutorial 8. In this video we're going to be working with our old friend the if statement again, but we're going to see where we use a function called AND. AND is going to allow us to have multiple things that have to be positive before we can move on to the true. If any one of them is false, we automatically fail to the false. So now let's take a look at a set of things here and let's see if you guys think that this is an if statement. Basically, we're trying to find out who is going to get a 401 company match. So you have to be a full-time employee, and you can see here under job status we have full-time and we have PTs, part-times. So if you are a full-time person and you meet the requirement of years of service, which is you have to have worked for us for a minimum of 1 year or more. So this person right here, Baker, would meet that minimum because they've worked long enough and they're a full-time employee, as is this one here who's worked 7.6 since full-time. Now this person's worked 5 years. They're more than long enough, but because they're part-time they are not going to get that. And then as we go down here, this person here, even though they're full-time, they haven't worked the full year, they're not going to get the 401k. So when you talk about job rating or job status and years of service, people naturally go, hey, that's an if statement and I need to do that actually as a nested if statement. And actually I'm gonna ask you to think about this. The answer over here is either yes or no, or in our case we're going to take the salary and we're going to multiply it times 0.03, which is 3%, is what the company will match. So you either get a 0 or you get a match. There's only two options, so it means there's one if statement. So we need to throw in a new kind of function here to answer two different questions. And how we do that is we use a function called AND. Now watch over here as we move over. You can see we have the AND function, and like all functions it has an opening and closing parenthesis, and you can see that it has two arguments in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to do here. Now with the AND function, the first thing that we were looking at was if the person is full-time. So basically we're saying, is G2 equal to a full-time employee? Now they have to meet this status, and this says you have to meet another status, this and that. So in this case we're also saying their years of service, which is in M2, has to be greater than or equal to the number 1. Okay. Now what this says here is you must meet this category and this category. And everything that we've got right here is actually going to now become our logical test right there. Okay? So if you are full-time and you've worked long enough for us, basically what we're going to do is take your current salary, which is in I2, we're going to take your current salary and we're going to multiply it times 0.03, and that's what we'll match you for. But if you're not eligible, we're not giving you anything. Okay? So let's think about this. If you meet this, so you're positive here, and you meet this, you're positive here, you get to go here. But if you're positive here and you're negative here, if you're negative there, then you automatically fail to here. If you're negative here but positive here, you automatically fail to there. And if you're negative and negative, you're automatically going here. So there's only one set, a positive and a positive, that's going to send you to this thing here, are true. So let's take a look at how that's going to come in when we put this together here. So let's drop back in here. I'm going to put in an equal if, and I open my parenthesis. I start typing my AND. You can see. Now notice that this is going to have an opening and closing parenthesis in it. So I immediately go in here, my G2 equal to full-time. As soon as I put that comma in there, I move to my second logical piece of this, which is M2 is got to be greater than equal to the number 1. Now notice I could put a comma here and see how logical 3 and logical 4 come up. I could keep saying you must meet this and this and this and this. But in this case we're just doing two things. And so now I've filled in my logical test and I move on to my true, which basically is saying I'm going to take my current salary, which is in I2. My current salary is in I2, and I'm going to multiply that times 0.03. Now, if I didn't find myself eligible for this, they shouldn't give me any money, so I put in a 0 in my false. And you can quickly see that these people are getting matches. This person didn't get a match. They've worked long enough, but they're part-time over here. As I scroll down, this person here didn't work long enough. This person was part-time. So you can see that we've got a this and this must meet before we can go to the true. So in this video, when we listened to the original question of what we were trying to accomplish, we said, oh, we might need to do that in a nested if statement. And we actually could have done that in a nested if statement if need be. But because now we understand how to use the AND function lets us to put multiple things into our logical test. If all of those things are positive using the AND function, we can go to the true. But if not, we go to the false. So the AND function avoids us having to go out to a nested if statement when we can avoid it.